Story time. Powerful, thoughtful, intriguing. Today's story is about Mark Stevens. The story powerfully conveys the human side of cybersecurity failures and emphasizes the importance of building a robust, thoughtful strategies to protect both data and the people. Mark Stevens was a kind of leader every company dreamt of: a sharp mind, unwavering work ethics, heart for his employees, and a vision that guides his company, Zenit Corporation, fictitious name in our just to provide a context. A Zenit Corporation to become a leader in its field. As a CEO, Mark's day was filled with meetings, strategy sessions, a constant push to stay ahead in the competitive market. But beneath this calm exterior was a man who carried the weight of every decision on his shoulder. And every founder, CEO must relate to this. One morning, Mark received a call that shattered his world. His company suffered a massive data breach. And it's just not another data breach, it's catastrophic. Thousands of customers' record and sensitive financial information and internal strategies has been exposed to the public. The headlines screamed about the failure and all the fingers were pointing straight at Mark. Overnight, the stock plummeted and Mark's reputation and sense of self-worth as well. The company he had built from scratch, the employees dependent on them, and the trust he had worked so hard to cultivate, all seems to crumble. As he watched in horror, his life's work is reduced to a cautionary tale with news channel and social media, vilifying him as a leader who failed to protect his company. But the numbers and headlines didn't capture the sleepless night, the endless board meetings where his decisions were questioned, his gut-wrenching moment when he faced his employees, feeling like he had let each of them down. Mark's confidence began to erode. He tried to hold on, throwing himself into the damage control, talking to lawyers, consultants, cybersecurity experts, desperately trying to fix what at that time felt unfixable. Weeks turned into months and pressure only grew. Lawsuits piled up, customers left, and the organization's name was now synonymous with failure. But what truly broke Mark was the loss of trust, the silent judgment in the eyes of those around him. He felt alone, isolated by the shame and guilt that it was all over and gnawed at his spirit. One quiet morning in his office, Mark wrote a letter. It wasn't filled with anger or excuses. It was an apology, a deeply personal note to his family, his employees, and everyone who had believed in him. He wrote about the unbearable weight of his mistakes, sleepless nights haunted by what ifs, if onlys, so on and so forth. He didn't blame anyone but himself. And later that night, Mark ended his life. The news of his death shocked the world and everyone who knew him, colleagues, friends, and even his competitors. And for many who respected Mark as a leader, a respected leader as well. And this is something which we have to look into. Behind closed doors, he was a man overwhelmed by the consequences of a breach that went beyond data. It breached the sense of identity, purpose, and hope. Mark's story serves a tragic reminder that cybersecurity is not just a technical issue, it's a human one. It's about the leaders who carry the burden, the employees who lost their jobs, and the trust, once broken, is seldomly rebuilt. As we sit today discussing about these strategies and programs, we have to remember that isn't about only preventing breaches. It's about protecting the people behind the data. The marks of this world who paid the ultimate price when things go wrong. So let's build a strategy which doesn't even secure the systems, but prevent everyone around it. I hope this story makes you think and provide you some actionable guidance.